Buddy, how you doing? It's Will from Will's Fifth Quarter Special here, the owner, host, and creator of the show you listen to when the fourth quarter buzzer sounds and you turn to us for your fifth quarter sports talk. How's everybody doing? It's Will Farwell here with you on a Tuesday afternoon with an emergency Facebook Live. So, as usual, we cover things as they unfold with the Major League Baseball offseason. And it we cover it as usual with the Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox, and this one's all about the Chicago White Sox. They have made their official first free agent signing of the offseason, and I guess you can continue this as a possible trend maybe from this point now that the move was just made. It definitely shocked me as well. I think it's just interesting because in the last offseason we signed a pitcher from the team that knocked us out before, and that was the Oakland Athletics, and in the wild card series. And then now in this offseason, we've signed another pitcher, it seems, for the bullpen from another team's bullpen that knocked us out previously. And it's reported courtesy of MLB.com. Jeff Passon's reported this as well. And courtesy of Daniel Greenberg of Chicago media, that the Chicago White Sox have agreed to a 3-year, $24 million contract with former Astros reliever Kendall Graveman. So Kendall Graveman, he's 30 years old. He pitched with two different teams last year, including the Houston Astros. So he's formerly with the Houston Astros, but he was traded to Houston at the trade deadline this past season by the Seattle Mariners. So Kendall Graveman, the right-hander, going to the Chicago White Sox. So we're going to take a look at his stats a little bit. I'm going to tell you guys what I think about the move and how it impacts the White Sox moving forward. So courtesy of BaseballReference.com, we have some of his stats up right here. He is 31 years old, coming into this upcoming season, and has some pretty good stats. They give a projection, but we're going to look at where he was before. So, started in 2014 at the age of 23 at Toronto. Played with Oakland all the way to 2020, where he played for Seattle through the 21 season until, as I mentioned, trade deadline, he was traded to the Houston Astros. Now he is joining the Chicago White Sox. So, just looking at his combined stats from last season. With the Mariners, he had a 4-0 record on the year, 34 strikeouts in that span, and 10 saves with a ERA of .82. So that was very impressive. You can see why Seattle tried to trade within the division to get him. And with his now former team, the Houston Astros, in the second half of the year and in the postseason, where he pitched against the White Sox as well. Pitched pretty well against the White Sox, his now new current team that just signed him. He had a 1-1 record for Houston, a 3.13 ERA in 23 games, and 27 strikeouts, giving up 12 walks. So he had a better first half last year with Seattle, it seems, than with the Astros in the second half of the year. So Kendall Graveman going to Chicago White Sox. Now, this is an interesting signing when the White Sox, are reported to be considering a trade for Craig Kimbrell. And, a lot of people have been speculating. I think this shows that Kendall Graveman's a good piece for the White Sox. I really like the move. Just seeing a little bit of more of who he is as a pitcher, watching that White Sox-Houston playoff series, the guy can really throw well. Can throw really well in game situations, get guys out, and you're adding a guy to a bullpen that is losing Michael Kopech. As Rick Hahn reported earlier in this offseason, Michael Kopech's moving the rotation now. He's going to be our starter for the near future. They just started him out in the bullpen, and that's probably somewhat track for Garrett Crochet. But back to Kendall Graveman, I think it's a very good move for the White Sox. I think, it's a reasonable price tag as well for a reliever. Because some relievers will go for 40, 50 million, but I think it's a smart money-wise move by Rick Hahn. You get 3 years of this guy, so it's somebody in his early 30s, which means he's still got a lot in his arm left, I think, which is really good for your bullpen. It helps solidify what you have in your bullpen, especially since Evan Marshall and Jace Fry won't be returning. Kimbrel's probably going to get traded, so we could see another reliever or so come to the team throughout the year as well. It's still early in the offseason, so it's hard to tell. But I think even if you have to fix right field and second base, but I think Graveman's a really good move. I like what I'm seeing because even in total in 2021 he did pretty well. Just looking at some of the stats, and I think it's a really good signing for Chicago. I like how they're starting with something we don't expect because obviously they have World Series aspirations like we thought last year. So he's a back of the bullpen addition. So this is courtesy of MLB.com. Just some information on him. Uh, he has a really good sinker. He threw, according to this reporter, 63% of the time. Good pitch average of 96 miles per hour on that. Um, but he's effective, and he was a key reliever for the Astros in the postseason. We saw what he did against Chicago, his now new organization, and he helped take Houston pretty far into the World Series. And you want to bring a guy that has that type of experience now to the Chicago White Sox. That really helps them out with a bullpen that was already pretty good last year. Matt Foster's a decent name. He's more of a role player in the bullpen, you could say. Ryan Burr, again, I'm not too fond of. So I think guys like Foster, Crochet, Hendricks, Bummer, and you add a guy like Kendall Graveman when you don't know for sure if you're going to re-sign to Pair or not or what's going to happen with that, I think that's a very smart move. It does signal a higher possibility that Craig Kimbrel will be traded. I think if you're going to be paying a guy $8 million a year on a new contract and you have a reliever with a one-year option of 16, financially, when you have other needs, I think it's best to trade Kimbrel towards those needs or towards something that'll help you in the future. So I think it's a really good move for the Chicago White Sox. I like this signing, so we at Will Smith Core Special want to welcome Kendall Graveman to Chicago. Congratulations on signing with the White Sox, and hopefully we'll hear your name more in positive vibes talked about in this podcast. So there will be a blog post coming up pretty soon this evening. Be up by the evening and tonight. Gonna get right to work after this live stream goes up. And as usual, Will Smith Core Special fans, our live streams will always be up on the YouTube channel. So if you want to know where our YouTube channel is, just search Will's Fifth Quarter Special in that search bar and subscribe for free. Give it a click, give it a watch, see what kind of video content we have right here. So as I mentioned, courtesy of MLB.com and MLB writer Jeff Passan, the Chicago White Sox have signed former Astros reliever Kendall Graveman for 3 years, $24 million, bringing him to the south side of Chicago. When the fourth quarter buzzer sounds, you turn to us for your fifth quarter sports talk. I'm your host, Will Farlow, saying so long from this emergency Facebook Live of Will's Fifth Quarter Special. See you guys soon.